Hello. In my open math, there's some classes where we're combining, basically adding and subtracting rational expressions, which are basically fractions that have either monomials or binomials or trinomials over a monomial, binomial, or trinomial. This one has the denominators as trinomials. And in order to add these or subtract them, remember the first step we have to do is find the least common denominator, and then we have to find equivalent rational expressions with that denominator. So to find the least common denominator, what we have to do first is factor both denominators and see what we have. So if we factor these, the first one, what we start with is 4x squared plus 27x plus 35. So we're going to have 4x plus 7 times x plus 5. And for the second one, we have 4x squared minus 17x minus 42. When we factor that, we're going to get 4x plus 7 and x minus 6. So, we see we have 4x plus 7 in both of them. And then we have an x plus 5. And we have an x minus 6. So, we're going to use the 4x plus 7. We only need to use it once because it's only in each expression once. And then we're going to use the x plus 5 just one time and the x minus 6 one time. So this whole thing is the least common denominator. Now, in my open math, there's going to be a lot of questions where it just asks you to write the expression as the equivalent, which is the next step for adding and subtracting these two. So, for the first one, we see that we don't have the x minus 6, so we'd have to multiply it by x minus 6 over x minus 6. In this one, the second one, we don't have the x plus 5, so we'd multiply it by x plus 5 over x plus 5. However, in my open math, there's some questions that just flat out give you what the denominator is. And here, it gives you that the denominator is already 4x plus 7 times x plus 5 times x minus 6. And all it's asking you to do, it's not asking you to yet combine them or add or subtract them. It's just asking you to write the equivalent fraction. So that's actually the next step anyway. So this first one doesn't have the x minus 6. So we have to put it in there. 2 times x minus 6 over 4x plus 7 x plus 5 and x minus 6. And if you're not using the math quill, you may need to put brackets around all of this. The second one doesn't have the x plus 5, so it has to be put in there. So I'm just going to do the brackets this time. And you're going to have the 8x times x plus 5. And you're going to put the denominator that the question gives you, which is 4x plus 7, x plus 5, x minus 6. And that's all it is. That's all it's asking you to do on these questions. Now, really, what I did on this example here is a lot more in detail than what it's asking. it gives you these two rational expressions, and it gives you this denominator. So all you have to do, you do have to factor these and see which of these three is missing, and then just stick it on the top and the bottom. For this one, you look at it and you see which of these three is missing, and you stick it on the top and bottom. And that's all these questions are asking. But for the future questions, what you'll have to do is multiply or distribute the 2 and distribute the 8x, and then combine the numerators and then factor it out when you're adding and subtracting. But like I said, in these questions, this is as far as it's asking you to go. So do well on these. It's going to be in chapter 8 of Math 0028 if you're at HCC, or it's in the beginning algebra, chapter 8. I believe it's section 8.4. But these are some of the types of questions that you're going to get in My Open Math.